God is within and without, because only God is. In fact, to say God is a repetition, because God is never, is not. God is the very isness of existence. We can say the house is, because once the house was not, and once again the house will not be. To call the house is okay, because the is not is possible. We can say the man is, but we cannot say God is, because only He is, always has been, always will be. God is the very isness. God is existence itself. Then why call the word God at all? Why use it? We use it very symbolically to indicate something. When we say God is, we mean existence is not without a soul. We mean that existence is not dead. We mean that existence is alive, throbbing with love, compassion, consciousness, conscience. That existence is intimate, that there is a possibility to address, and there is a possibility to get the response. When we say God is, we mean that existence allows the possibility of a dialogue. You can have a dialogue with it. You can call it thou, and it will not be meaningless. And you can be in such a state that prayer becomes possible, that communion becomes possible. That's all the word God carries. Existence is not like a dead rock, it is an alive flower. It will respond to you. If you love it, love will flow towards you. If you move towards it, it will move towards you. If you seek it, it will seek you. Existence is not careless. If you are in love with existence, existence is in love with you. That's all that we mean when we call existence divine, or when we say God is. Remember it. It is a poetic way of saying a truth. It is not a fact. It is poetry. It is a romance. And religion is a romance with existence. Yes, it is more like falling in love rather than arguing towards a conclusion. That's why Kabir says God is within and without, but the journey has to start from the within. Unless you have known God within words, you will not be able to comprehend in the outside. Unless you have seen Him within yourself, you will not be able to see Him in the trees, in the birds, in the stars. How can you see Him in the tree, in the rock, if you have not been able to feel Him within yourself? Your center of being is the closest door to God. If you have not been able to enter from there, you cannot enter from anywhere else. God is within and without both, because only He is. Still, the journey starts from your innermost core. First, you have to look withinwards. If from the very beginning you start looking God in the outside, your God will be nothing but an imagination, a falsity. This point has to be understood very deeply. The whole approach of Kabir, the whole approach of all the mystics of the world depends on this. If you see God outside and you have not seen Him within, it is going to be just a dream, a projection, a wish fulfillment. So don't start the journey that way. The journey starts by closing the eyes. The journey ends by opening the eyes. First one closes the eyes in meditation, goes deep into oneself. When one has realized, touched the very core, has known who is there, one opens the eyes and finds Him all over, spread everywhere. But you cannot begin from the outside. That's where the organized religion misses the whole point. The Christian goes to the church. The Hindu goes to the temple. The Mohammedan goes to the mosque. The Mohammedan travels thousands of miles to go to Mecca. The Hindu goes to Kailas. And Kabir says he is neither in Kaaba nor in Kailas. He is within you. Not that he is not in Kaaba and Kailas. Once you have found within yourself, you will find him everywhere. But then there will be no point to go to Kaaba and Kailas. Because wherever you are, wherever you look, you will find Kaaba, you will find Kailas.